the lawless, unforgiving Old West. One man tried to bury his past, only to discover that some nightmares never stay buried. Newly appointed Sheriff Harley Brogdon thought he'd left trouble behind, until ancient terrors from Native American legend clawed their way out of the cold earth. Bronze Star 2 is the thrilling continuation of the critically acclaimed Weird Western series by Eisner Award-winning writer Mike Baron and legendary artist Pat Broderick, co-creator of Creature Commandos. Return to Cobb's Gap, where every bullet fired is a deadly gamble, and every shadow may conceal an unimaginable horror. The legend rides again, deeper into darkness, into a series of hellish nightmares that will haunt you long after the final page. 2 chilling journeys into the heart of the Weird West await you in Bronze Star 2. Pre-order the pulse-pounding sequel now at bronzestarcomic.com.
Good morning, Midnight's Edge fans. We're here to tell you that you canceled my intro.
I didn't do it. I did not touch a thing.
Okay, well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Midnight's Edge in the morning.
Yay!
We have like chaotic mess this morning.
It's another day ending in Y.
Yes, and the crowd goes wild, Chado, wild.
They usually do.
There you go. There you go.
Paulie, quit pushing buttons.
Let
me do my job. Let me do my job.
I did not do anything.
All right.
Okay, Andre said push the start button. That's the only button that I pushed. So my bad.
Well, somebody mucked up the intro.
No, that I did not touch.
All right. Well,
I'm just glad we got to see Tom's look of judgment. We needed the camera on.
I know, that was rough.
That's why I turned it on. I got my daddy face on right now. I'm passing out. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Midnight's Edge in the morning. It is a new month, a new Monday, and Andre's having internet issues, so it's another day that ends in Y. We have Paulie here as well, helping me produce this mess. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm fantastic, Chado. And Chado knows why. I'm on cloud nine.
Dodgers one.
Yep. The
I'm
best
on
World
cloud nine.
Series money could buy.
I'm on cloud 9, back-to-back champs.
There you go. Yeah.
Indeed. And then we also have Chris here, as we said before. How you doing, Chris?
Hey. Glad to be here. It's a banner day.
It is. And then, of course, officially, let's welcome Mr. Chato. Because if he doesn't get his proper intro, then I hear about it all day long in his writer.
I don't get a proper. Usually, I take over and just keep yakking. So I'm not doing that right now.
That's good, but we still love you.
That's good.
And Andre, as I said, is having some internet issues. So if he can hear us,
I'll chime in whenever I can. I'll chime in when I can.
But good morning, everybody out there. Hit the like button, share out the link, let everybody know that we are live. I know it's hard to believe, but it does happen from time to time.
I know this show is the most important thing in my life right now, but if I'm distracted, I'm trying to get my Ryzen number 5 3600X sold on Facebook Marketplace. So I don't really, I have more important things to do than this show.
How much are you selling for?
$50.
I thought it was some mail enhancement.
Is this going back to your payment that you owe me? Everyone, he owes me $100.
It's paid. Check your email.
Did you? I sent him that Family Guy video. Did you get it?
No.
Whereas what's the little kid's
I missed
name?
it.
He beats up the dog because the dog's like, "Oh yeah, I'll pay you that money next week," and he's like, "Oh yeah, you like that? You like that? You like?"
No, I didn't see it.
Anyways,
no, I'm a Canadian. I'm not, like you Americans.
Oh,
I paid immediately.
Oh, okay. I mean,
and I didn't pay it with snap stamps.
Oh,
because I know that's how you usually that's how you usually get paid, right? And in Snap.
And I'm just happy, Chado, that you did actually pay up, because I don't want to go around reinforcing your stereotype. So congratulations.
No,
Chado.
that's No, we're an honorable people.
Love it, man. Anyways, where's Tom?
I would never not pay up.
So should we expect a doorbell or something to go off? Or you sell? Are they coming to your home to purchase this, Paul?
And I'm waiting for like a ding on my. So listen, if I log off, I'm talking to some person who wants to deal only in cash.
I see.
So
I see.
it's the
So,
best part of-
you won't take Snap or EBT, is what you're saying?
No, I won't.
Okay.
I won't. Not for this processor, and really only in Canada. There's no point in taking. You Americans probably can get this for pennies.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have to pay for you to ship it from Canada.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell it to someone in the Soviet Union so they can get American technology.
Beautiful. Perfect for Bitcoin mining or whatever, right?
Correct. Exactly right.
You globalist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me,
yeah.
I'm an anti-globalist.
Thank you.
Well, you know who is an
Good.
Mr. Gojira. He'll take it all down. So it was Godzilla Day today. We got an announcement. We got some box office news, and we also have what else do we have here? There was something about
Super
Sydney
chats?
Sweeney becoming a Bond girl.
Oh, Bond girl. I
Ooh.
thought the discussion was that they wanted her to become Bond.
I think
no, something
Bezos
about
wants her in
bondage.
there one way or another. Anything.
Listen, Sydney Sweeney could come out of the ocean in Ursula Andres' bikini anytime.
Mm.
Blofeld, maybe?
What?
Well, that's what you do to her. No, sorry.
You watch your language,
Watch
sir.
her language.
Or Haley Berry's.
Haley Berry was in Bond.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
her
Halle
her,
Berry, yeah.
her bikini.
Accoutrement. She was great. She looked fabulous in Bond.
She still looks great too.
Yeah.
Grimzilla says, Happy Godzilla Day, everyone. 71 years, -1 sequel confirmed, -0. More reveals throughout the day. So, yeah, that was the first big reveal of the day, is that the sequel to -1 is called -0. So it is going, I guess, in numerical order, though I'm going to be so confused when they get to like 3 or 4.
+1. So who's going to be Godzilla's +1?
Mothra.
Nah.
She bought a new dress for the event. So thank you for that, Grimzilla, and I'm sure you're excited. We got M. Miller here, says, are we going to talk about the Witcher series turned movie they never announced and dropped simultaneously with season 4 out of embarrassment?
What?
So is anybody aware of this?
No,
Really?
I know nothing about
Okay, I
it.
know very little about it. In fact, Miller was the one I think who brought it to my attention to begin with. And I have very, very little time in my day for The Witcher. So, yeah. Where is... Anyway, there was something to do with some Witcher series that got... Or some Witcher movie. Let's see here. Netflix quietly releases Mysterious Witcher movie alongside season 4. So here we go, kids. Here's the actual story. So let me bring it up, as they say. So, when did Dolph Lundgren star in The Witcher?
Yeah, it looks like him, doesn't it?
Oh, they won't let me not have
If
ads.
you'll click anywhere off that banner, that goes away. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go away. Okay, there we go. All right. So, yeah, so this Witcher thing, what the hell was it called?
Oh,
The Rats, A Witcher's Tale.
The Rats, yes.
It's a prequel
yes.
film that tells the story of the group of thieves who join up at the end of Witcher's 3rd season. So there you go. So that's what this is, evidently. So, Paul, it sounds like now you know what the hell you're talking about.
The Rats are in the book are the group of people that traumatize Ciri and turn her into a lesbian. I'm not joking. That's not a joke.
Well, I thought that would make them heroes.
And by turn, I don't mean turn. It's just that, yeah, the Rats traumatize her and force her into a lesbianic situation.
Is that a real word? Lesbianic?
Lesbianic, yes.
Well, it is now, yeah.
It is now, god darn it. We're going to TM that shit.
Lesbianic.
I think that's Taylor Swift's next album.
Put that right next to
Lesbianic.
Queerdo. So there you go. A mysterious Netflix Witcher movie.
Ooh.
That is Dolph, I believe, yes.
No, it's a Temu Dolph Lundgren. That's not Dolph.
Oh,
It's not. I promise you.
I had heard
I
about
was
it.
He-Man. I was the Punisher. I killed Rocky's friend.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a shitty series.
It looks like he's saying, "Where's the He-Man set? I've got a cameo."
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to play Randor. You watch.
Yo.
That would be a waste because he should only be King Grayskull.
Well, maybe he'll do that in some kind of cameo background. I was gonna say, point is he's only going to be in the movie for like 5 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
Well,
I bet you
I
$5.
saw the first episode of Witcher season 4.
Witchered.
And I'm
Witchered.
Witchered.
Well,
I'm
it's just
desperately-
Hemsworth
I'm desperately
Witcher.
afraid of diving into episode 2.
There we go, Paul. We got to watch it. We got to write a series now called Witchered. It's about a dude named Dick who's a witch.
Richard.
And that's going to have
Richard
more
T. Dick.
Witcher in it because, as far as I understand, like Hemsworth's biggest job is to stand there in the background while the lesbians have all the action in the foreground. Isn't that about right?
The lesbionics.
The
Yeah.
lesbionics, which is the new language of lesbians, is lesbionic.
Yeah. Let's be honest about what this series actually is.
Oh. Hey-oh.
So,
Andre's
yeah,
just knocking him out today.
I heard that even the series story gets kind of loopy and stupid, and really only Yennefer has the decent arc in this season. And I like the Yennefer.
I mean, I remember her being hot in the first season, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, and I liked
Yennefer-
her story. I didn't mind her story being brought out in a parallel fashion to Geralt's. I mentioned it in the last show that they are lovers, and you are rooting for them, and to have them both fully formed characters. There's nothing wrong with it, but don't put Geralt onto the shelf and then ignore him. So. But that's all old news. We've already complained about that enough.
Mm-hmm. And then we got a couple more super chats here. We got Jeremiah Hembry, who says, "Did you guys see the poster for Godzilla minus 0.0?" I
No.
believe I did. Let me take a look here and see if I can bring it up. Well, we got a little teaser for it. We can see that first if we want.
The only thing I saw was kind of unremarkable. I hope there's something. I mean, I know there'll be more, but I couldn't find anything.
I don't even know how far into production they are into this thing yet.
Yeah,
So here's a little teaser thing they released.
show us.
Oh, wait, let me see.
So it's a trailer for the logo reveal.
It's a trailer for the trailer for the trailer for the
Yeah.
logo.
This is a super tease.
Oh, okay. This
Is
is
that what
like
they're called now? Is super teases?
Yeah,
It's
that's
nerd.
shorter than well.
You usually
basically
pay
it's a
extra
teaser
for that.
trailer by the looks of it.
it's like a
Yeah.
winking
Yeah, this is-
across a crowded room or something. You know.
Yeah.
Like
It was
someone
made
created
of
the logo.
so far.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
logo. Godzilla.
Congratulations, Dodgers.
Well, that would make sense.
Right, because half the team's Japanese.
We love a baseball.
We love a baseball in Yamamoto.
Now minus 0.0.
That's it. There it is, guys.
Hi.
Mr. Chato, I mean, you're better in math than me, and I'm fairly decent, but correct me if I'm wrong, but mine is 0.0. Isn't it kind of like superfluous with the zero there? And
Yes,
that has to be
it
like
is.
some marketing thing.
It's purely marketing. You can't have a minus 0.
You know what this is, guys? It's going to be Monster Zero.
Yeah. It looks like, you know what it looks like,
Oh.
really, honestly, if you kind of squint your eyes a little
Goo.
bit?
AKA
Yeah, that's right. Goo.
Goo.
Monster Zero,
King
that's the
Ghidorah.
thing with the three heads, right?
Actually,
King Ghidorah, yes.
what this reminds me of is Sydney Sweeney.
Oh,
If that is the case, oh my God, I'm going to lose my shit. Because King Ghidorah is my favorite one. And it's like, if you're going with him next, fuck yes. Like, yeah. Because he's like the ultimate destruction, right? Like, Godzilla's bad, but like, Ghidorah's like, he's a motherfucker who's going to bring some shit down because he's from outer space. Like, yeah.
Well, except we saw from the last movie that his ember was not completely wiped out. There was a cliffhanger where they showed the beating flesh, right?
Yeah, there was some kind of teaser or whatever you want to call
Well,
it.
yeah, he's not completely destroyed. That we found out at the end of the movie. Sorry for any spoilers out there.
I want to see Godzilla. Godzilla.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. This is gonna be fun. So
Starring Sydney Sweeney
cool.
Status.
The one thing I hope is that they haven't swallowed the Hollywood Kool-Aid, and then suddenly this is going to be a $500 million movie. That's my biggest fear. Not that they should be sweating and make another $15 million movie, because they probably worked way too hard for too little money. But I'm certainly hoping that this thing doesn't blow up budget-wise.
yeah, I see what you're saying, because like the first movie, the whole point of its charm, I guess, or however you want to look at it, was that it only cost 8 to 10 million to make, from what we understand. And yeah, if they jack up the budget on this one, then yeah, that's kind of silly. But I don't see
It was
them doing
fun.
it
Yeah,
too
the
much.
making of is a great little video. It showed also how they did the decks on the different battleships, where it was just a tiny amount of scaffolding, and then the rest of it was blue green screen. And they just did a fantastic job fitting in the 3D into the little parts of the set that they had available for people in Navy outfits to run about. And what was really heartening about that was that felt like real movie making. I don't see when some producer announces that they recreated the entire boat in some harbor in Mexico, that to me doesn't feel like the wonderful inventiveness of making a movie. This had it in spades. If you watch the making of Gojira -1, it gives you heart. It gives you the feeling of inventiveness and how movies need to be made, not just 100% CGI.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
Well, it was like such a dead pause there. Yeah.
I had
So,
my
yeah.
say. Move on.
All right, yes, Gojira 0.0 -0.0. So yes, indeed, looking forward to that, and maybe some more announcements on Godzilla Day. And as Jeremiah asked,
0.0.
I can't find a poster, so if somebody wants to send that off to me, we'll check it out. Dark King says paying off Paulie means that Shadow has had a household shutdown. Nobody can break the filibuster from Mrs. Shadow. Only Tom can save us now. What do you expect me to do? I'm only one man.
Well, Tom, here. All right, I already have a complaint, Tom. Then.
Oh fuck! I'm not HR.
Listen. Chato sent me some fucked up Canadian bank transfer. I don't have a Canadian bank. It's not allowing me. It's not even giving me an option to go to my Wells Fargo.
I paid it out of my YouTube earnings, and it's Paulie makes none out of YouTube, so.
Like I said, Chato, I think I'm gonna have to have Mexican Iron Man give you a call and send an invoice.
Well, I mean, what, you want to be paid by PayPal? I can do that too.
I'm just playing.
He wants PayPal.
I'm
No.
messing with you, brother.
No, if you're not able to deposit it, I'll send it again.
Well, no,
Speaking of
it doesn't give me an option of I'll tell you in the private chat.
Okay.
Sorry.
Speaking of Canada, Barry the Music Man says Canada sucks. Their teams is the BJs after all. Oh, oops, I meant this one. Not the
We
chicken.
have never heard that before.
Well, the reality is that they're a fantastic team.
Yeah.
It's not like a team you hate, like
No.
Boston or the assholes or the Yanks. They're actually an incredible, well put together team. It was an incredible World Series
One of the best World Series in decades.
in decades. Yeah.
Blue Jays are quite mean also.
What? Oh, you mean as a bird? Yes.
Oh, the bird.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
bird is a nasty bird. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So are Cardinals. Quite nasty.
And
the-
starlings.
Yeah, maybe that we should just rename all baseball teams to bird names.
I would like to say we need to rename the Guardians back to the Indians.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I think that moment has passed for all these, like the Washington Generals. And
How about them
because
Brooklyn Dodgers?
when you
They
explore
bums
that,
of
then you
wood.
say, what about Vikings and things like that? I mean, it's just like, man, people are just having fun with names. They're just thinking this is a cool name, and
It's a team name.
You
It's a
know,
sports name. Yeah, sports team.
Yeah.
Well, it's really the indigenous. Indians are a completely different race of people.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
I'm
we're
just
not-
waiting for some. I'm just waiting
Listen,
for.
if you're going to rename them the Indians, then more accurately, they should be called the call centers.
Oh,
Wow. Chato, you just throwing so much. Listen, guys, don't be fooled, guys. Chato is a devil beast, man. With
he's the
all-
racist, most racist one.
he's a
of us
white
all.
devil.
Well, he's
Yeah.
already used the word spade, and going
I
on.
had a racist
So-
joke. He just jumped even farther beyond that.
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
always
like, fuck
does.
it at this point.
You know.
No sense in it. Anyway, Dark King says, can you
Love
just settle on the pronunciation for Godzilla and stick to it? Seriously, Japan will declare war on this panel at this rate. Look, I can't help this. It
Dude.
is fun to say Gojira.
It is also accurate.
This is true.
I think it's
And
me
we're the
that's
ones who are
saying
like,
wrong.
let's call it Godzilla.
I mean,
Godzilla.
we're Americans. We fuck up every pronunciation.
What's
We
it
have
called?
Hogzilla down
Gojira.
here in the South.
What the hell's a
Hogzilla.
Gojira? Sounds like some juice you drink. Let's call
Godzilla.
it Godzilla.
Godzilla. Make yourself a goddamn quesadilla.
Yeah. God damn it.
Godzilla.
All right. Well, we're caught up
Sounds
on the
like
super
Obama.
chats.
Oh, don't.
Does sound a little bit like Obama.
Yeah.
Godzilla come down, and he thought he was going to take us out. We said no. He's
Quesadilla.
got to go.
Yeah.
Go Godzilla.
God dang, Napoleon. Make yourself a goddamn quesadilla.
All right. Let's talk about this box office, because this is one of the worst box office years since we've been on the channel. Actually, it's the worst ever. My understanding, or since then, what, 8 years it's been now since the last time it was this bad, is what they're saying? Something like
No, it's
that?
worse in 27 years.
27
Well,
years.
Variety
Holy
says
shit.
30. So,
Wow, make up our minds.
Same difference.
yeah.
I read 8. Look at that shit. Yeah.
It sucks.
Yep.
How about that?
3 decades. So yeah, it's
The
it's
first number one
worst
movie is
of this
Regretting You. I
century.
think they're regretting this movie. I don't know.
It's the worst box office October both this century and this millennia, to put it into context.
So these
Oh, I
two
thought it
top
140
films-
million.
Okay, maybe what I read was this was the worst box office in 8 years, period.
Mm.
Then was what I think I read.
Well, I think
Yeah,
they were
what kind
going
of
back
difference?
to they were going back to 2018, where Venom, A Star Is Born, and Halloween all brought.
Well,
in,
I
like-
think that's because some people aren't counting COVID. See, I think some people won't count
Can't
that.
count.
Oh.
Yeah. Correct.
Mm.
Right.
I
So
think
the two top films stars like the teen actor. He was also in How to Train Your Dragon. And there's a Black Phone. 2 is making its money back. Regretting You is a little expensive to make, and definitely lower than expectations in the studios want. They're trying to make this kid like the next thing. I mean, I'm trying to remember how to say his name. I apologize, guys. He's not a bad actor. He's in both Black Phones. We just watched Black Phone 2 the other night, and then he's in this Regretting You, and he was in How to Train Your Dragon live action. But
You need
as
to zoom in on that screen there, Paulie. I can barely read it.
Mason Themes. Thank you. Let me.
I'm just shocked that Back to the Future's in the top 5.
A lot of people went to go see it.
Yeah.
That is still a pretty damning indictment of everything else.
Yeah.
Because just by virtue of being a re-release for a movie that had like its proper anniversary 10 years ago,
Mhm.
Yep.
because that's when it coincided with the events of Part 2, that it hits top 5 right now. That's a pretty harsh indictment on the state of Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, never underestimate the popularity of Back to the Future. That's
it's
the
a
thing.
great movie.
There's there's a few movies that,
Is that better?
especially that the nerds really love.
Yeah,
and
that's
one of
much
them.
better.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Chainsaw Man was made for $4 million, and globally it's 130 million. And here in the States it's 30 million. I mean, Chainsaw Man is killing it. And you have these indie. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, finish up on Chainsaw Man.
No, I was going to go on to number 4. I'm just trying to give a little insight.
Go ahead, because I'm going to jump ahead before that anyway. So
Begonia is the Emma Stone kind of artsy release, and again, just
Is that not a remake of a Korean movie? Because I only saw the trailer a couple of days ago. Is that not the remake of Save the Green Planet?
I can look it up, but I doubt it. I think Lorgos does his own stuff.
Did you watch it, Paulie?
I did not. Some people are saying it's really good. It is a remake of the 2003 South Korean film Save the Green Planet.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Then, because that's an amazing movie, Save the Green Planet.
Okay.
Because I just saw the trailer. I was like, I've seen this concept before. And I definitely have to see Begonia then, because that's an incredible movie with an incredible twist.
It's definitely a award season release, and that's the problem, is that a lot of these movies have been released and made for themselves, a bubble within the bubble. That's why they're not appealing to the main mass market at all. If anything, Chainsaw Man is, Back to the Future is, not Springsteen, not Tron.
Well, Springsteen I wanted to bring up because that one's kind of interesting. Do you think his politics have gotten in the way? Because that's one thing that has seemed to be, aside from like horror films, that it's almost like a given people will show up for, is these musical biopics in the last few years. Like most recently we had, the Bob Dylan one, you have the Rocket Man, you had the Bohemian Rhapsody. What the fuck happened here? That's my question, because look, is it the politics? Because Bruce Springsteen is considered the boss by most, and as far as I can tell, at one point he was huge, and now what happened? Like, that's my question for everybody.
I feel like Springsteen, though, isn't as widely or ubiquitous as somebody like Elton John or Queen or even Bob Dylan.
See, I disagree, especially in the USA. I do.
Okay.
I mean, is that it? Is just that he fell off in popularity? It could be too, maybe.
I think so.
And like, when was the last time he had? I mean, you could say the same thing about Bob Dylan, but Springsteen had maybe 5 hit songs, maybe 6 or 7 at the most. I don't know.
Big difference was Timothy Chalamet playing.
There you go. So there's a number of vectors we can talk about here.
Yeah.
Paulie is right that Timothy Chalamet is genuinely a draw.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think Bob Dylan is legendary. He is now in a completely different class, up there with the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix. So there's a continuous memory, an echo that continues to reverberate through generations and time. But I think Springsteen is the argument about legacies have to be tended to. And he has not been tending the garden. He has not been, if you, let's say, compare him to Taylor Swift, which is, just from a performance point of view, she is continually performing. She is in the zeitgeist. She is a personality, a star right now. She did a movie. It did very successfully. And now she's done that recent thing, whatever it was, I can't remember. And that was huge. That made a crap load of money. I don't think, like Springsteen, you can disappear off the planet. And then
here's what have been.
The other comparison is that movie with the monkey. What was it called? That was another kind of
Robbie Williams.
Yeah, so I think Robbie Williams movie and the Springsteen movie suffers from similar problems.
I see where you're coming from, Paul, but I kind of disagree in a sense that the Robbie Williams movie, the problem there was you had somebody who's not even remotely as popular as Bruce Springsteen making a movie that was way too expensive and experimental for what it was.
Sure, but he's huge on the other hand.
Yes, he is. But like, here's the thing with Springsteen. Like, you talked about Elton John and all that stuff. I would put Springsteen on that level. See, that's the thing is, like, I mean, I don't think you guys remember how many top 40 hits this guy's had over the last 50 years.
Like, he hasn't had one in 20.
This is true, but neither has fucking Elton John or
Elton John's a gay
Billy
icon.
Joel or
Billy Joel would.
Elton John's had far more top 40 hits. I mean, I'm going to have to stop you there. You cannot name 10 top 40 hits from Bruce Springsteen.
You think I can't? Born in the USA, Dancing in the Dark,
who are mad at me for
Philadelphia.
Okay.
Let's see here. I can keep going a little bit longer if you want. Born to
I don't
Run,
think you're going to hit 10.
Oh,
yeah,
I
think I can because I can just go through his greatest hits album. Exactly.
Like 10.
But you guys forgot to remember how big he was from 80 to like 95. Yeah.
90s. I'm sorry to talk over you. This was off all his hits were from the 80s and 90s. But see, someone didn't do their job. $55 million to make this film, right? The market didn't do its job.
I think you're more right, Paulie, in the star power too, because Chalamet, that's the difference here. Chalamet brought Bob Dylan to a new generation.
Oh, big time.
Whoever the fuck this kid is.
James Mangold was a director. So people don't know Jeremy Allen White, right?
No.
The guy who played Springsteen. Here's a marketing.
The other one was Elvis with what's his name?
Austin Butler.
Austin Butler, thank you.
So, no one knows who Springsteen is as far as the modern, movie going audience, right? Now, this is what I would have done. I don't know how they just didn't market this correctly. During the World Series, at the beginning of each World Series, huge audiences, the biggest ratings bonanza it just keeps going up. They had a movie tie-in at the beginning, in the middle, live tie-ins where they had Sydney Sweeney introducing the World Series, then cut to her movie Christie. Then it brought up again a few times. I don't know if anyone saw that. To me, that is genius marketing. That is perfect. What I would have done, Tom, have Bruce Springsteen come out and sing national anthem or play a little Born in the USA, tie that into America's pastime. And he's got his movie out.
Yeah.
But maybe because of his politics, I don't know what. But to me, that's a no-brainer, is that Born in the USA, baseball, the highest ratings, our movie's coming out. We need to market this to them.
For one, this is the wrong title. Okay, as much as I disliked Bohemian Rhapsody, I will not knock it worked for the movie. Why is this movie not called Springsteen Born in the USA or just called Born in the fucking USA?
That's what it should be called.
Oh. Exactly. Like, I don't understand this shit. Like, I love the Queen movie should have been called We Will Rock You Anyway. Like, that's another thing that I don't get. Rocket Man was perfectly fucking titled. Perfectly fucking titled. And you're right, because I think Elton got out on off his ass and fucking promoted the shit out of that movie, because I think he was also one of the producers. But I think Bruce is here too, if I'm not mistaken. And again, because some people are saying, well, all those people are dead. No, the only persons that we announced that we talked about that were dead were Elvis and Freddie Mercury. Rocket Man, Elton John's still alive and stuff like that. Bob Dylan's still alive. Well, so it has nothing to do with them being dead. I agree with you. I think it has to do with the legacy, who's playing them, and at the end of the day, if the person's still alive, if they're actually getting out there and promoting this, I think those three factors are a big thing. But I'm curious, do you guys think the politics really hurt?
Yeah.
Because that's where I was saying before.
Kamala Harris.
Because Springsteen used to be an American icon, and this is where I disagree with you, Chris, because he had so many hits, and for the longest time, he was considered the boss. Right?
Like there was nobody the boss, but the last time he had a top 20 hit was Secret Garden in 1995. His ticket prices are $300 a pop. He's not out there for the everyman anymore, and he endorsed Kamala Harris. The audience that he did curate, I think, has rejected him. They're not interested in this movie. And going back to the original point that you and Paul Lee all made, I think everybody agreed. Whoever the kid is that's starring as Bruce Springsteen in this movie is not a draw whatsoever. I think they were hoping that Bruce Springsteen was the draw. You know,
Yeah.
you could have got somebody like a Joaquin Phoenix who did the Johnny Cash biopic or something like that. You needed somebody, I think, that had some gravitas to do this. And I agree, it should have just been called Born in the USA. I think it's ridiculous that they did.
Well, the problem with that is, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. The movie, the storyline is about him making a particular Deliver Me From Nowhere. Like, it's about making this album.
Yeah, it's an album.
That's got nothing to do with.
Well, and that's even dumber.
Right. Well, but yeah. So
it's one of those cuts albums. I think it's an important point, Paulie, because this is an album that only the hardest of hardcore Springsteen fans even know about. I went and saw Yes 2 weeks ago. Total disappointment. They played maybe 2 tracks that you've heard on the radio, and then they played, get this, some of the new stuff.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, you don't want the deep cuts, people.
You know, this is why I love John Mellencamp. Motherfucker comes out, sings 90% of his hits. Even when he had a new album out, he only sang 2 or 3 of the new songs. Didn't force us to sit through more than that. And in fact, one of them was already being played on the radio. So, like, yeah.
What a great show.
If you have this obscure, time frame, right, in his career, which is not the most popular, it's not born in the USA, you still can market this as that's the hook. And what you do is maybe do your research. What other rock bands really love this album, that are rocking, that are, that have their audience? You find out if they've done covers from here. You find, maybe if you're thinking of well ahead, you even get a cover album done of different rock bands, different, musicians doing songs from this movie. That's done all the time. It's done all the time. And then that gets some kind of like music enthusiasts behind the film, because it's not Born in the USA, right? You're not getting the best of the best. It's not Glory Days. It's not, I'm on Fire, Philadelphia. It's this. So you got, again, marketing has to be creative. That's all. I thought Sydney Sweeney going on the World Series was a freaking a home run for her movie.
It's not like Sydney Sweeney has had a. Sorry. Should have had Sydney Sweeney in this movie then.
You should be in everything.
Basically, because what I see, because I'm only vaguely familiar with Springsteen. I know that he's an icon, and I agree completely with Chris's point that he was the boss, and he's born in the USA guy. But that was 30 years ago. I bet if you were to look at the average age of his still extant fan base, those that call themselves, I'm a fan of Bruce Springsteen right now. Not I was a fan of Springsteen back in the day, but I'm a fan of Springsteen right now. I bet the average age of those people are going to be in their 50s at the very youngest. Could easily be in the 60s as well. And that's a big part of the problem. That Springsteen, he hasn't... There's plenty of other artists that haven't been as relevant for as long, but somehow he has fallen out of the spotlight. And what he has been in the spotlight for is for the wrong thing, for his politics. And then I think especially of Born in the USA, because as someone outside to your glorious nation, one thing that I do know is that Born in the USA is actually an anti-war song with a little bit of anti-American sentiment, but the people that really embraced it were those a little bit more on the patriotic side, because it has Born in the USA in it, and they don't think too much about the rest of the text, or that there is some level of irony in it, which means that a very big chunk of his casual audience are going to swing conservative. Those casual audience, they're the first to go when he endorses Kamala.
I agree with Andre, and I think there's another element to it, is that those people who were embracing the message of Bruce Springsteen at that time, because he's always had a unionist vibe and approach, they've all grown out of that, and he's remained. So there's the group of people who misunderstood his message from that one song and were hardcore American patriots and didn't understand his unionist position on things. And then the people who grew out of it and are now Republicans, which probably is the majority.
One more point I'd like to bring up.
The there's a second thing. Bruce Springsteen has not had any kind of musical or sartorial influence on anybody except on Bryan Adams.
True.
Well,
It's
that may be
zero
true.
influence on anyone come later.
Pardon me?
Bryan Adams is Canadian, right?
He's a Canadian,
Yes,
and it wasn't until Bryan Adams adopted the white T-shirt, jean jacket, and pants did he become a superstar.
He was the Canadian Bruce Springsteen. You're not wrong. Now, Paula, you were going to say something, then I had one more point, and then we can move past this. Yeah, unless there's anything more.
Who asked for this movie? That's my point. Is that it's so irrelevant to make and distribute. $55 million. This to me is such a blowing hot air up Springsteen's ass because of his Hollywood friends. That's all this is, because there's no importance. It's not like he's passed away. He had a tragic thing. I mean, there's also just biopic fatigue. The ones we remember, it's like, wow, the Tina Turner.
Push back a little bit on that. Actually, I think I like biopics.
Yeah, me too.
But I think that they probably made the wrong one.
Well, this one is only between the ages of 31 and 32. That's
the timing.
Yeah. Imagine, because it's the only example that comes to mind, with someone that has a really shitty, obscure album that no one cares about. And then you can just supplant any other band and any other shitty album that stands out negatively in their catalog. Now imagine that you are making a Kiss biopic, and you are focusing exclusively on the songs of the Elder era. And
I knew that's where you were going. I knew exactly where Andre was going.
Yeah. That's what this is.
The worst period.
Well, the next big one is...
Too, but no one else would.
Well, the next big one is the Beatles ones, right? And
yes, and Kiss is getting ones as far as I know eventually here. But
just one.
I kind of agree more with Andre, and I think it's more the timing. Because now remember, when was this movie originally planned and put into production? And when they thought Guess Who was going to win, right? So this was set up as a time period where this would be X amount into, Miss Harris's presidential, years. And here we got Bruce
Springsteen. Robert De Niro biopic next. Is that
maybe? I think that was part of this. This is why I brought the politics in, because. Yeah. Here's the thing, because Bob is the opposite. Here's the funny thing about Bob's movie, because I can supplant a lot of what you guys said with Bob Dylan, because this outside of his influence, right? Like, I will not, because Bob Dylan is one of my favorite, songwriters of all time. He has probably one of the most influential songwriters ever. That being said, he too has not done anything to foster his legacy in the last 20, 30 years. And his last hit was when he won his Oscar, and he's like, I got my EGOT, I'm out of here, fuck it. And that was when he did the one for Wonder Boys or whatever. And that was what, 30 years ago now, 25 years ago now, at least, close to that.
No, that's a good point.
So he hasn't done anything either, but Timothy Chalamet and Bob Dylan, who is seen as somebody who was a diehard lefty, but guess what the movie kind of points out, and I think a lot of people overlooked? He don't give a fuck. As soon as you think you know Bob, guess what he's going to do? He's going to turn face and turn into something else.
Well, he's the ultimate contrarian.
He's the ultimate contrarian, and that's what I think his movie, because I was upset that his movie was only a short period of his time, but it was the most important period of Bob Dylan's career. It was from when he went from folk to electric. Now, you're talking about a point in Bruce Springsteen's career that nobody gives a flying fuck about except for him. Paulie's right about that. And I didn't even realize that. I thought this was a biopic about his life. At this point, I'm like, who cares?
Well, there's someone put a comment here. I did star it. Nebraska has been released. So his albums were re-released with the movie. Born in the USA, Glory Days, and I'm on Fire, all in the movie as if they were written during the Nebraska sessions. So now
they're pulling Bohemian Rhapsody shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're just, so, okay. So let's say, if there is one scene in the movie, and I haven't seen this yet, where he's singing Born in the USA, why the freaking is that not in the trailers? And that should be spat all off. Again, $55 million, guys, for this film.
I just think nobody's interested. I mean, obviously nobody's interested. Whatever it is, it's the actor. I think the actor was in the Iron Claw. I'm sure he's fine. Yeah,
he's really good. He's really good.
I'm sure he's good, but basically, they just did everything a little bit wrong. Because I agree. Yeah. I love biopics. You can perfectly well do a Bruce Springsteen biopic, But they chose the wrong story, and they chose the wrong time, and they marketed it the wrong way. And they did all of these things thinking that Kamala was going to be in office and he's going to have a huge boost because he was on the right side of history. Just like one battle after another was going to be a really important movie, and Mickey 17 was going to be awesome. Oh, it was so relevant, really celebrating our brand new president, Kamala. Didn't happen. How did it? That's the problem with Hollywood being so hyper-political in every aspect, and thinking that, well, we really influenced everything, we know how this is going to turn out. No, the audience is going to turn against you if you stand against them. That's what happened here. That's a big part of it. And I think that being as pro Kamala and as Springsteen lost his audience, and he hasn't gotten a new one.
Do you want me to bring back the box office?
Oh yes, go ahead. I'll bring it back up. But just one more point on Bruce. Is that the last thing that he made headlines for? Do you guys remember here in recent weeks, just as this movie was opening, right? Is that he revoked Trump's usage of "Born in the USA"? Like that was his last big headline. Because that's one thing that artists can do in America is they can actually tell political people they can't use their music.
Yeah. I'm sure that's really going to endear him to the conservative.
That's my point. Yeah.
That packed the cinemas. I will say, speaking of good biopics, there's one I think that often gets overlooked. I think it's a classic. It's 1979's TV movie by John Carpenter.
The Elvis one,
starring Kurt Russell. Yeah,
that's one of the better ones. The Elvis one with Austin Butler wasn't bad. See what that's true. See, that's the other thing with this and what we're talking about here. Bruce doesn't have anybody around him that you can like cast somebody like Tom Hanks. See, Austin Butler wasn't like a huge name yet. He's up and coming. But what the beauty where it worked with Elvis is you had Tom Hanks next to him playing Colonel Tom Parker. And for the first time, we're actually getting to see that character portrayed the way they actually were. So that was another big deal with that movie.
Yeah,
see, but this movie's not offering any of that. See,
adding to that though, Austin Butler, is a handsome leading man that just looked really great in that role, and so the girls went nuts over him. And that movie made a lot of money.
I think a good biopic needs to sort of have a combination of myth, inspiration, truth, entertainment. It really it's a balancing act, I think, for one to be a good one. And had this one gotten good word of mouth from that first weekend,
I just don't see they have Michael Jackson biopic coming out. I'm very, very curious about that one.
Yeah. Well, Michael Jackson is just a bigger thing, and of course he's dead now. So there's all this myth associated with it.
Also too, so you had Back to the Future #5, you had Tron Ares #7, Stitchhead, Good Fortune, One Battle After Another.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that Michael Jackson biopic is going to do huge box office overseas. I don't know about US wise, but the controversy with that one is, did you hear they got to redo a bunch of the movie now because the estate didn't bother telling Lionsgate that they couldn't cover certain aspects and people in the story because of the lawsuits. So they have to go back and fix a bunch of shit now, I guess. It was like a big oopsie. So like, we were going to do a video about it, but we just never got to it yet. So I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but yeah, that one's one I think he'll do all right because he has a huge international following still. I mean, Michael Jackson is still pretty big. I mean, even his albums are still in the top,
now more than ever.
Yeah, I was going to say, so all the time still popping up. So yeah, on that note, to go past that, yeah, Tron Ares, a big, huge, what the hell is Stitchhead? Is that a porno of Lilo and Stitch? What?
Ouch.
That's an animated film we covered. We did a review on that one.
Just to put a button on the Springsteen conversation is that Elton John did 100 mil in the US and 100 mil worldwide. I mean, 100 mil outside of the United States. So 200 mil.
Respectable.
Okay.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I think the movie cost 40. We're talking about the Rocket Man biopic.
The Elton John movie.
Yeah.
It might have cost a little more, but I think it was like 40 for the budget.
Anyway, I just thought I'd mention, Elton John. That's a good comparison.
The big one, the one to beat is Bohemian Rhapsody. See, that's the big one now. I think that's the highest grossing one ever as far as biopics go, with music biopics.
Definitely. I think it did like almost $1 billion, like 900
million.
Huge fucking numbers. And I predicted it was going to do big numbers. I knew it because like, don't underestimate Queen. Even though they fucked up the whole story and all the fans are pissed about it, all it was basically a celebration of their music at the end of the day, and they covered all the main stuff they needed to cover. So that's all that mattered.
They reordered it on purpose.
You know what I think the second biggest biopic behind Bohemian Rhapsody is? It's not Elton John.
It was La Bamba.
Straight out of Compton.
And now it was Straight Outta Compton. You're right.
205
years it was La Bamba.
million or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Sorry. Yeah.
We need to be out of the.
Bruce we need to move on past this. But these are very interesting. Look, I'm like Andre. I love biopic movies, especially musical biopics. I mean, he's tried to get me to watch the one for a while on what's his face.
Falco.
Yeah, I haven't had it.
I'm waiting for the
Hitler. To me, that's my personal favorite biopic.
There we go.
The
chat's loving the discussion. I know that.
That's the thing. Like a biopic, it shouldn't be expensive. They really need to make those things so cheap that they can get away with appealing to the built-in audience. I mean, I think it's insane. You really shouldn't have any biopic be more than like 20 million. Like, I'd watch the Billy Idol biopic. The Rammstein biopic, the Varg Vikernes biopic. That'd be pretty awesome. But none of these things should cost a lot. I mean, they should all be made on the cheap because they all have an inherent niche appeal. And if you change it up too much, then what's the point? You can get away with that if you're Weird Al Yankovic. But beyond that, you need to stay relatively close to what actually happened. And what actually happened for most artists really isn't of that much interest to anyone but the local following. So keep the budget low. I mean, 50 million, I mean, that's as high as you possibly can go. And as we see in this case, that was way too much.
Anything else on this?
No, I think we've covered most of this stuff here.
I will say, if I can, of course, obviously, Back to the Future, amazing re-release, 40th anniversary. One last thing, if you see on the bottom of the screen at number 12, it's called Bahubali, the Epic. So what this filmmaker did is that he took his 6-hour movie that came out about 10 years ago, and he made it into 4 hours, Indian film. It's a 4-hour supercut. So a 4-hour movie in little less than 500 theaters here in the States made that much money. I went and saw it. This was the movie that S.S. Rajamouli did before RRR, and it is spectacular. And so it's just, it's I just wanted, if anyone wants to see something different and highly entertaining, it's a badass film. It's on IMAX, and
awesome.
Yeah.
There you go. So that, I think, is kind of wrapping up. The thing with Back to the Future, it does deserve, regardless of how bad the box office has done, a $5 million re-release of a 40-year-old movie is nothing to sneeze at. That is pretty damn good. Universal is smiling ear to ear, and I bet you they're talking about doing that Back to the Future musical movie now. I guarantee it. God help us. But yeah, that's where I think we're at with that. So thank you, Paulie, for bringing that up, and let's see what you guys are talking about out there in the chat. C-Man says TDS will wreck you. Springsteen went hard and lost. Same with Lady Gaga. Yeah. But then Checkmate brings up a good point here, and I wonder this too. Dolly Parton was a cultural icon too, but a movie on her would bomb too. It's nothing to do with their politics looking for excuses. Maybe. I think you get the right person and the right timing, though. I think that's more important than anything.
Sydney Sweeney.
Exactly. Like, you get the right person, the right time, right role. Anything's possible. Like, I think Chalamet playing Bob Dylan was fucking inspired. Like, I would have never thought about it, but when I saw that movie, I'm like, holy shit, this dude is Dylan. Like, he really got into it. So you find the right person, you never know.
Yeah.
Totally.
Dark Kings. Oh, go ahead.
No, totally. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, Dark Kings says panel and cast and name the AC/DC biopic. Go!
For those shit. About to rock, period.
Jack Black.
Highway to Hell.
Yes, it should be called Highway to Hell. Yes.
High Voltage.
I mean, all those
Highway
names
to Hell
are,
is the name of the movie. It's got
all those names or titles are great.
And you know what the movie's going to be? It's basically going to be whatever. It's going to be everything pre Brian Johnson. So I hate breaking everybody's heart. You know, it's going to be about Bon Scott. It's going to end with his death.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, I would love it if they went beyond.
I would too, but
I would watch the Brian Johnson story. The fact that they picked him out of some pub somewhere,
right?
And then they said, "Well, you're the lead singer. You write the lyrics and music." That's what the lead singer does. And he sat down and penned Back in Black.
Yes.
But holy Jesus.
Yeah, you could make the first act Bon Scott, and then he dies, and it's like, now what do we do?
Yeah. See, that's where you could actually do the Queen movie they wanted to make. Yes.
See, that would be really great. And Brian Johnson said the only two things I knew about were cars and women. So that's all I wrote.
That's all AC/DC needs to know and blowing shit up.
But that's so funny. Formula. I mean, the guys were such blokes that said, you know, we play guitar and drums. The lead singer sings lyrics. So you're in charge of the lyrics. That makes so much sense, right? We don't sing the lyrics. That's not our job.
They are so perfectly generic in what they are, right? Like they are like Kiss, their own brand, right? Like, and you can't tell half of their songs apart from each other, but yet you know them all.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're decrepit now. I mean,
and you know them as soon as you hear them, even if you've never heard.
You know the opening lick right away. Yeah. And they all sound the same, even though you can still tell the difference.
And they're the best part of the worst Stephen King movie. Well, I shouldn't say worst Stephen King movie.
Did you see their 2-song performance on the what's the American music show? What's that called? Not the Emmys. What the hell is your music show
called? American Music Awards, Grammys.
The Grammys. Did you see them on the Grammys
recently, or like
no, not recently. They only played once. So the last time they played on the Grammys, they got them to do 2 songs because I guess they were special, and it was the Brian Johnson era, and it was really interesting. But by that time, the Grammys has already been taken over by R&B and hip hop, right? There's no rock and roll. It's just Beyonce wall to wall or P. Diddy or something, right? To me, it's not the Run DMC days. I find all the new music, based on R&B pretty boring these days. I'm getting myself into trouble, but bring back George Clinton. That's what I say.
Fun.
But what was interesting was the number of people in the audience, all the young kids went nuts when AC/DC went on stage and did their stuff, and everyone was pumping their fists. And I thought this was an audience of people who wished they were old style rock stars. Like, that's gone. The rock and rollers were gone, but the electric feeling from the audience of just thoroughly enjoying this music by these guys was very palpable.
They're basically the Beatles of the prepubescent boy group. I'm not kidding. Like they like every young boy, that's their first big band they get into. Usually is
that's
AC.
Like
my kid was the same thing. AC/DC.
Yeah.
So, as soon as he would call it Iron Man. It didn't matter. It was just because
they
he saw
the
movie Iron Man. But yeah,
they haven't had a hit in 30 years. I mean, at 1990, Money Talks, I think, was the last time they hit the top.
But every
40.
time they come out with an album like every few years, and they're all the same, and they sell. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is they've got their following.
Well, they're dying off now, Tom.
Yeah,
right, but they still sell.
I think that you guys have a great idea for a biopic for them because they experienced such a tragic death and went on to become sort of this world.
They're one of the few bands who did that, right? Who lost their lead singer when they were already iconic, and they came back with a different guy, and they became even bigger,
huge. Yeah.
Like, I mean, Back in
Black.
Black.
About that Mark Wahlberg movie.
Well, there was that movie too already, which is kind of the same story, right? But that's even loosely more based on, I think, the Judas Priest thing.
Sure,
yes. AC/DC. But you're not wrong. Like this, they actually have a good story for a good movie, and you could actually tell the entire story and actually do what Queen wanted. Because I don't know if you guys know this or not. Queen originally, what they wanted to do was have Freddie Mercury die in the middle of the movie. So the last half of the movie was supposed to be about Queen persevering on without Freddie.
Who cares?
It's like nobody wants to see that depressing shit. Not only that, I don't even want to see the last few years of Freddie's life. That's the last thing I want to see because I know what it was. We saw it in real time happening. We saw the man dying of AIDS in front of us. He did as much work as he can before he died. So all that stuff was still coming out after he was dying or dead. So like we saw all that. I don't need to relive that shit again. I want to relive the highlights.
AC/DC, it's important to relive an old man still wearing schoolboy shorts. That's really
as far as the cast, I have no idea. You just find a bunch of kids that look like these guys, right? Like, I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And then maybe some older versions of them, like Paul said. Or you can just put them in makeup. Yeah.
Smoking killed them.
Yeah.
I feel like biopic. I mean, there's biopics I would like to see that no one else would, like we mentioned earlier, like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'd like to see a biopic on him. But
Chris, the way you pronounce biopic, it makes it sound like surgery.
Yeah,
it does.
Biopic
or biopic.
Biopic.
And I can't disagree with people because I've heard it so many different ways by so many different people. But no, here's the thing: you do AC/DC as 2 movies. You do Highway to Hell as part 1, where it leads up to the death of Bon Scott, and then you do Back in Black as part 2, where it's all about the Brian Johnson era.
I love
there you go. That makes sense. All right, Alejandro Montoya says no more biopics because they cut like a knife. Oh,
oh.
Nobody wants to see the Bryan Adams biopic.
No,
it's
great tunes though.
That was a good turn of phrase there.
It was. John Apocalypse says, surprised there's no Nirvana bio. You know what? I don't think there will be in our lifetime, or at least not for many, many years, until Courtney and Francis and the rest of the guys can work something out. That's the problem, is I don't know. It depends on how close Francis is with the guys, because I think she has controlling interest now, is my understanding. If anybody wants to chime in on that.
You're 100% right.
Yeah. So I don't think they have to deal with Courtney so much now, but
Dave Grohl did the Murder so that he could have his own hit band in a deal he made with Satan. I don't think they're going to be able to pull that off, though, in a movie.
Yeah, I mean, the most they could do right now would probably be a movie about the aftermath, and that's where Dave Grohl would have control, probably, like you just said.
The problem with this Nirvana is that I don't think Kurt Cobain ever had a happy moment in his life.
Did you say Nirvana?
Only when Weird Al calling it, Nirvana, and you called it Kurt Cobain. Now you're talking about him calling it biopics, and then you're just Nirvana.
Well, it's a Kurt Cobain movie.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And the only time I think anything good happened is when Weird Al called him or whatever. Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's just too depressing an individual. I mean, there's no arc in there. It's from really depressing to death. There you go. There's the arc.
Well, I mean, he's that typical tragic rock star. He doesn't realize how.
The thing is that there's actually a great movie in it. But here's the thing: when you have something like that, you have to make the movie about something else and then frame it into a Nirvana story. Like, for instance, then it has to be specifically about depression and everything that led to him, and basically how all the stuff got going that didn't help. That's your angle. You can do it, or you can do a very period piece of the grunge movement in the Seattle of the 90s, and you can choose that angle and how that culminated there and what happened afterwards. So you can do movies about anything. It's just a matter of choosing the right angle.
Right.
And that's the problem with many biopics. This is what I said, that most people's lives, and this is true even for our stars and our artists, they really don't have that interesting lives for the most part. They're pretty basic people and really ain't that much interesting to talk about. So you have to, if you want to remain truthful, you have to find out first, what do you want to convey here? Why does this movie have a right to exist? Because in most bands' life size is like get together, have like 8-9 great years, break apart, move on with your lives.
Right.
Ain't nothing.
And sometimes it's even less about the music, right? Because one that Paulie and I bonded over initially was La Bamba. And at the time La Bamba came out, nobody knew who the fuck Richie Valens was. He was a forgotten rock star that just, the only reason he was remembered still is because he died with Buddy Holly. Right? right? He barely had 3 hits on the charts when he passed away, sadly, at a really young age. But because of that film and how it was, presented and brought to the public, it made Ritchie Valens arguably more famous than he ever was before through Lou Diamond Phillips. And you can have that with almost anybody. I agree with you, Andre, and the same thing with Nirvana. Like, if you tell it from a certain angle or a different way, I mean, like I said, you can even go at it with the idea that, this guy's got nothing but success at his front door, but he keeps acting like, he can't, touch it.
Then it's a movie about his demons. And it can't just be about his demons. It has to be something that people can take away from it. It has to be a movie that's going to touch people who, outside of the stardom, can relate to his personal struggle that in the end destroyed him. That's how you make such a movie. That's how you make it relatable so more people can see it. Now you have a movie that is about something rather than just going through someone's life who was fundamental fuck up, who lived the fuck up and died the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, you could even make his legacy part of that whole thing too, or however you want to put it.
Exactly. That's how you do it.
Yeah, but anyway,
I want
moving
to
on.
see nothing but Courtney Love.
If it was her idea, it probably would be the Courtney Love story, basically. Yeah. Mario Trillo says with $10, more on Chainsaw Man. While it's a successful manga, it's not one of the heavy hitters. 29 of its 31 million sales are in Japan. This is just a profitable commercial for the manga in the end. Well, this is kind of what I think we were getting to last week. And I think partially what Andre was getting to in his video about the whole thing is like, yes, anime, manga, they are big. They are gaining ground, especially with the younger American audience. I'm not going to deny that. But they're still not on this level where they're going to take over Marvel or they're going to take over any of the major American, type entertainment yet. It could have possibly happened in the next 10 years. Don't get me wrong, especially if Hollywood keeps going the way it is. But at this point, they're still not on that level. They're more on a horror movie level where they're consistent. And once in a while, you'll get a K-pop Demon Hunters or something like that that'll, blow it out the water. But they're still not to that huge mark yet. Once these movies start making $500, $600, $700 million stateside, then it's a bigger deal. And this is what I hate to invoke Superman, but this is what I keep bringing up about that and comparing it to like F1 is that yes, F1 did great internationally, but it didn't do that great domestically. Superman did the opposite, right? And that's why at the end of the day, I think Superman is a more profitable movie for Warner Brothers than F1 was. And I know people will argue with me about that, but that's true because Warner Brothers spent $200 million on F1. They literally just wrote out a check and gave it out. Superman was made under totally different circumstances, and they made most of their money inside the U.S. So once these movies start doing better business in the U.S., then they'll start noticing more, and then we'll start being flooded with them. But K-pop Demon Hunters is the big first step there. Chainsaw Man is another step there. We've seen a few other things with popularity like, the adaptations like One Piece will matter because as these get more and more popular, the more and more Hollywood and other entertainment entities will look to, Japanese animation and Korean entertainment and all that kind of stuff. So
I forgot Demon Slayer as well.
Demon Slayer as well is another example. There you go.
Demon Slayer is probably more
or whatever it was, Niza or whatever it was.
That's China.
So still,
that's the biggest.
Point is it's all Eastern influenced entertainment. Is my point, I guess.
Yeah. I got that list, that separate list. I'm gonna talk about that on when I go live. But it's a huge list. I mean, Niza is what. 2.2 billion. Most of that is in China.
Right.
So, but Demon Slayer is up there, 675 million. Superman.
So they clearly don't need us, right? Like that's the other thing you guys got to keep in mind. Like, does the anime and manga, do they really need America's money? Because they make so much money over there already that this is just gravy on top of it.
I think they're separate markets because anime and manga has had a strong U.S. foothold.
I'm not saying they haven't. I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, though, in comparison,
I think China don't. I think the China example. I think you're right with that China example for sure.
Yeah, and the answer I think is no. They don't need you because everyone outside of Hollywood is responsible enough to make sure that they budget the movies so that they will break even and be profitable in their own markets, and everything else is going to be gravy on top. So all of these movies, they're made to break even in the local market. It's like the same thing when you have like a Norwegian movie greenlit. I assure you that the US box office is not the factor in greenlighting a Norwegian movie, however animated it may be. The only possible exception to that is something like the upcoming Troll movie or the Kraken thing. That might be slightly different. But there you have Netflix money, who's going to do like more global distribution and stuff.
See, and that's the thing that I found hilarious or kind of odd in the last decade, actually almost 2 decades now, was how Hollywood started pandering to these other countries. It's like no other country does that, right? Like no other country you see them going, we got to make this movie to where the Americans want to see it. Like never.
No one, ever. They're smart enough to know that this is our market and it has to make money here. And everything else is a bonus. And if there's an exception to that, there's pre-sales. And those pre-sales will have made all the difference already. They're not making something super expensive, then deciding, oh, we'll just gamble on everyone else wanting to see this as well. And this is something that Hollywood has started doing with superhero movies in the past few years, because they saw just how big the international appeal became for them. It wasn't like that. It was generated by the movies being that good. It's not like the international audience is going to flock to some comic book movie because it's a comic book movie. Hell no, just look back in the 90s and stuff like that. No. That is something that was built and earned by great quality movies, much of that coming from Christopher Nolan and Ike Perlmutter's Marvel Creative Committee. And the moment that you no longer did what they did, starts to slide.
Andre, I need to correct you on one thing that you said.
Yes.
And that is, in Canada, our philosophy is to make movies that nobody wants to watch.
This is also true in Norway, but even there, the government picks up the tab.
Correct. That's if anybody. That's actually one of the things that you have.
That's communism in film.
The form, in the telefilm form, is anyone going to be interested in this movie inside or outside of Canada? And if you put no, then you get funded.
This is, the funny thing, it's kind of like works something really similar. It's like if your movie has such incredible artistic merit that it has to be made, meaning that the people in the awarding committee thinks that this is really, really virtuous and it really speaks to their values. So they don't want to see it themselves, but they feel that others should see it. It's going to get the funding needed.
There you go. That's
when you're really seeing that in this award year.
That's the communism way of making film.
Yeah, and you're really seeing that in this year's award season. Just these ultra obscure movies with the same political bent. Oh my God, it's so important. This is amazing, Chris. It's going to change your life. You have to see it now. Indeed. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
But just to continue on that point before we move
on.
Wish
that.
I just remembered one thing. Like, for instance, most Norwegian movies, they are made, or at least a state-funded one. But then you have, like, the privately funded ones. Again, they're made with the home market in mind. Like, for instance, the Norwegian movie Dead Snow, that was made exclusively for the home market, became a huge cult hit. But because the first movie was a huge cult hit, the second one had a much higher budget because it had international pre-sales. And that's why they had Americans come over to Norway for vacation to give an excuse for why it should be English language.
And how did it do?
Well, it did very well. It was pre-sold. Yeah. But there's no Dead Snow 3. Didn't do that well.
Well, that's because of climate change. There was no more snow.
Yeah, indeed. Let's blame that. But anyway, moving on. Mario Trujillo says for $10. More on Chainsaw Man. While it's a successful manga, it's not one of the heavier hitters. 29 of its 31 million sales are in Japan. This is just a profitable commercial for the manga in the end. Probably true, but this thing has theatrical distribution all over the place. Even in Norway, this thing is in theaters. So I do believe there's a lot of gravy on top in that one, although it's not going to be a heavy hitter. And that's the point. We're not where it is a heavy hitter, but it is making some success for itself, which is really all it has to do. And yeah, Shadow Dancer suggested the title AC/DC Racer's Edge, which is another way you could go about it. Lightning Sketch Production says for $9.99, a new video from Brian Coofey helps me calm down about the AI issue, and what he said makes sense, for he's a professional animator and understands business. Well, I don't know exactly what it was that he said, but I just have to say for my own part, AI being used to assist in animation is one of my least concerns. But if he was able to calm you down, yeah, good. And Karine points out for $1.99, Jamie Foxx says Ray Charles won Best Performance. Yeah, that was a great one, right?
Yeah,
there.
It was.
Another really awesome biopic. A great example of why you do want biopics.
Yeah, and you of course, it's Ray Charles. He's blind. The music. Jamie Foxx was just, lights out at that point. As far as all the movies he was in, he's a huge star. So, you gotta have stars, man. Jeremy Allen White is a really good actor. He's in The Bear. He's a TV star, but it's not a movie star.
Yeah, indeed. And Mexican Iron Man wants to trigger Tom here, saying for $1.99, AC/DC is greater than Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, I guess that's true in the world of music. And continuing that realm, Zack Snyder is better than Bob Dylan.
Yeah, he's trolling.
And Warachi says for $5, if they make a Back to the Future movie now, Marty will become Marsha.
Groan.
I'd like Tarantino to make a Zack Snyder biopic.
That could be interesting. But the whole Marty thing, the beauty of Back to the Future is as long as Bob Gale and Bob Zemeckis have any say over it, they won't remake it, but they've been hinting that they would allow this musical to be made into a movie, so.
May as well. I mean, there's money to catch, and you can do it as an Elseworlds tale. Why wouldn't they?
Well, it's also because it's becoming more and more profitable, right? This Wicked is just gonna be gangbusters, or it's
you had the producers in Hairspray who kind of set the precedent for this.
Yeah, or if they're not the big box office hit, they're also the awards hit.
Musical movies really are much like the anime in that they're more of a commercial for the Broadway or the live productions.
Right.
Spielberg, or it was Andrew Lloyd Webber. I can't remember who did it. I saw a video on him where Spielberg asked Andrew Lloyd Webber, and he said, Spielberg approached me and said, why don't I do a Phantom of the Opera movie? And he said, so how much money does one of your blockbuster hits make? And Spielberg said X. I can't remember. And then Andrew Lloyd Webber said, I make that every week on Broadway live, at tickets at $150+ each, right? And he said, Andrew Lloyd Webber said, there's no economic value for me to make a movie. It's much less money than a hit Broadway show.
So he got Joel Schumacher instead.
And they, what he just did too.
He
just re-released the Vita singles, and it's hitting the charts.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that if he did take on a movie, it would probably flop because it's outside of his wheelhouse. And the musical audience and the movie-going audience is the same thing. It would be kind of like Steven Spielberg suddenly directing a musical.
Like West Side
Story? Exactly.
Yeah, no, but I mean like a live-action version of it.
It was a failure.
He did a complete fucking failure. But West Side Story 2 years ago. Yeah.
But I'm talking about
Rachel Ziegler.
Not doing a remake, but that he actually made a brand new.
Oh, an original one. Gotcha.
Like for instance, Steven Spielberg is doing Schindler's List, a musical.
No, but there was one that year. It was called In the Heights, and Spielberg and his boys stuffed that film to make sure it wasn't a hit. Yeah. And it's the superior musical and superior movie. It was an original, right? And it also didn't have the political bent that they thought it would have. They put in more politics in his West Side Story, than they had in The Heights.
Well,
and The Heights is actually about the American dream.
There's never been a movie that I can think of where the pop music aspect of it in a Spielberg film has ever been popular. Right, it's always the John Williams score.
It's a score.
Nobody thinks of Steven Spielberg and goes, "Oh, he does a lot of movies like Bruckheimer." Right, great example, especially during the '80s. Like Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson owned the soundtrack with Flashdance, Beverly Hills Cop, Top Gun. I mean, the list can go on. Even Footloose, right? Like that, they basically made the modern pop soundtrack. And musicals, got to compete with that now, and that's where Rocky Horror Picture Show, Little Shop of Horrors. Some of the more popular ones of the past 30 years compared to now, where I think Paul's right. Things like Wicked make a hell of a lot more money on their stage versions than they probably do in the theaters.
Oh, even though the movie was a huge hit.
But all this is now is just an advertisement for people to go see Wicked.
That's right.
Exactly. So, and Spielberg is not the guy to get to do a musical, period. End of discussion. I would love to see Quentin Tarantino do a musical. I mean, he's basically like this guy who's like jerking off constantly before you're having sex. It's like, just get with it and already just make a musical.
What did we say we wanted him to redo? Zootsuit.
Zootsuit would be a good one for him.
I would be
if not just something original. I think he could come up with his own.
Yeah, but
even
Zootsuit
if he does
never
it as a
got
jukebox one.
Zootsuit never got its cinematic just.
Oh, you're not wrong. But
I mean, with this day and age, though, he wouldn't. I think he would knock Zootsuit out the park because he's got he's got all those right elements to that story is right up Tarantino's alley.
Well, we got to get through the rest of these super chats, and then I think we're close to closing down. But we got Jeremiah Heinrich says, "I sent you more information on Godzilla -1." All right, I'll check into that, Jeremiah. Thank you. Let's see here. We got a couple things here he sent me. So, see here. We got the Godzilla -00, which we already showed. Let's see here. The title is now officially Godzilla -0.0. Could be a tribute to the late producer Shuji Abe, close personal friend and filmmaker, partner of Nostoro. Abe passed away in 2023. There was that he sent me. And then Gareth Edwards and Takashi Yamazaki on the set. And then he sent me some other cool stuff. So thank you for that, and I'll check it out. Jeremiah, I appreciate that. And then we got Mario Trillo says, to take note, a major U.S. success for manga is around half of the Japan sales. So if a manga sells 20 copies in Japan, it will get 8 to 10 in U.S. Okay.
The worst thing they can do is start taking those sales for granted and budget accordingly.
Yes. Well, and when you were talking about movies that, the first movie was a small budgeted film, and then they jacked up the budget on the sequel. One that didn't work, Andre, was Highlander 2.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was one where they took the first movie, which was like a modest, I think they spent $5, $6, $7 million, maybe a little more than that on the first movie. And then they went and spent 3-4 times that on the sequel. And a lot of it was just to get Sean Connery back and all this other crap. And because they thought it was going to be this huge hit, because the first one was a huge hit on video and it just bombed.
It was basically the Joker 2 before Joker 2 was Joker 2.
It's a better movie than Joker 2, sadly. That's the weird thing, but yes.
Yeah, that doesn't take much.
Infinitely more watchable, as bad as it is. It was like The Room before The Room in a lot of ways.
Certainly more rewatchable, because Joker 2 is a movie you only have to see it once and you're done with
I'll never revisit it, but I actually sought out the theatrical cut of Highlander 2. Yeah. See, so there's a difference. But anyhow, I think we're caught up on the super chats now. Let me double check the
meanwhile, Tom, did you get this one while I was struggling with the connection?
Yes, we did. That was the first one we got.
Okay, just checking.
I think we are caught up on that. Was there any other stories that we had to cover? I know we kind of bumped into the Bond /
Sydney Sweeney.
Julia Sweeney.
Now we can talk about that.
That would be an interesting one.
I love James Bond.
That's great, Chris. Actually, Sydney Sweeney.
Swingy. Sydney Swingy.
No, swing from
swing. No, I got it. I got it. I like how you adjusted your shirt as soon as we started talking about Sweeney.
Yeah, he's showing his titties off.
Yeah. Nice.
I have
What would
blue
Sydney
one.
Sweeney's Bond girl name be, though? That's my question. Come on, audience, feed them to us.
Ivana Humpalat.
We need those in the chat. Stat.
Boobalicious.
To say Pandora Peaks is already taken, so it's
And
Right?
Peaks, that's right.
Ivana.
What's what I can't even remember the girl's name that played Phoenix in the X-Men movies.
Oh, Femke?
Famke Janssen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What was
yeah.
her character's name in Bond? Ivana something. I think it wasn't Pussy Galore. That was most of the good names were taken during the Connery era. I have to.
Oh man,
admit.
we're getting a lot of
getting a lot of great suggestions right here. So,
That you can't mention.
Oh no! On the top, that was
love
right.
it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Goodness! Wow!
I would. How about
Always.
treasure chest?
Ooh, treasure chesty
Treasure.
or chesty treasures.
There you go. Chesty treasures. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
But anyway, so the
now
reason
that's
we're
fun.
talking
oh,
about
no,
this-
boy, some of them you can't show, Tom. Be careful.
No, but that's okay. Misty Melons, I like that one.
Oh my goodness, that sounds.
But the reason we're talking about this is, Chris, you had a story this morning that Bezos has been eyeballing Sydney Sweeney for the next Bond girl. Is that the story?
Yes, it is. Let's see if I can pull this up. I'll
Sure,
try.
please do. And that's what he said.
I'll try. I don't know.
Let me see if I can pull this up, Miss Sweeney.
There we go. Yep. Just gaze at wonder. Bezos, of course, the owner of Amazon, is really trying to get Miss Sweeney involved in their James Bond franchise. Variety actually reported this first, but he's been pushing to cast her in a key role as the new Bond girl. And he wants to ensure her inclusion. Sounds like he's willing to pay just about any price for it, too.
sounds like it. I just want to say, based on that picture we just saw of Sweeney right there, I will say again, she should have been Red Sonja, and she has to bra for it right there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the outfit right there.
I got the name, Chesty Lamore.
Chesty
That's a good
Lamore,
one.
yes.
Did you see her recent photos on that red carpet? Oh my.
Yeah, she looked like something straight out of a comic book, didn't she? You couldn't escape that.
Part of me
image.
is like happy that, like her, Dakota Johnson, all these other actresses are embracing, being salacious again as far
And
as
she's also
sexy.
Agent Double D.
That's awesome. Oh.
Oh, such fun. Well, these are just sources. I can't confirm these. I'm only kind of reporting what Variety was already reporting, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it makes perfect sense. She's an it girl right now. I think earlier we had talked about Halle Berry. She was kind of an it girl when they booked her to do Jinx in the not Timothy Dalton, but Pierce Brosnan era. So it would make sense, and she's not a bad actress at all. She's not really a box office draw. I know she's kind of the current it girl right now, but
We'll see what the boxing movie is. I got a name for her Bond name, Ariola.
I'm sorry.
Ari,
Did you say,
A-R-I. I like that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Chris, did you say it girl or tit girl? I couldn't hear. Correct.
Whatever you prefer, sir.
Just trying to get
Whatever
that
you prefer.
clarification.
He's still can't get the cheering LA fans noise out of his ears.
Listen, you just brought it up again, loser.
That's it.
Hey,
That's
it's the first
that's
time
at
I brought it up.
bleedingfool.com if you want to check out that story. But
Yeah.
Sydney is she's certainly ubiquitous these days. She was just at NASCAR over the weekend. And as we were saying over on our Twitter feed, it almost feels like the long-awaited cultural rollback is in full swing with Sydney and the embrace of her, just the feminine and attractiveness and allure. And, I never cared for the term sex symbols, but that's what she is, right?
But there's how many actors or actresses can go from a big Hollywood event, red carpet, super important thing, to NASCAR, to the World Series, you know, because she showed up with her girlfriends to the Dodger Stadium, just looking just so cute with the little baseball outfit, Dodger uniform, by the way. How many actors can do that? Can you name any, Tom?
I don't think he can.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, to have that
somebody in the chat had wanted to see this other thing. Let me mute it and I'll see if I can show it off real quick. Just in case anyone's wondering about who Sydney Sweeney is.
Yeah. Meanwhile.
Oh yeah, this was that carpet thing. Yes.
Yeah. And this is a Women in Power event.
Yeah.
Wow. Does she have a waist? Holy shit.
Yeah. Women in Power event.
She's curvy.
Usually the women at the Women in Power event would weigh like 300 pounds. So
it would be more like the Women in Power lifting event, but yes.
You know who else embraces her femininity and doesn't mind showing it off as Haley Atwell?
Yes.
Oh yes. And I really like her.
Yeah,
she would make a good
to be very comfortable being sexy.
But wouldn't she be good as like Manny Penny or something like that?
I think what Brawley's saying is on point, because there's a lot of actresses embracing it big time.
Well, especially on the Latino side too.
100%.
Way more.
100%.
I hate to be the one to tell you guys this, but women actually like to feel sexy.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know, like to, yeah. Yeah.
I saw this clip the other day of a girl. I don't know if it was just some sort of sociology cultural test, but she was a airline stewardess, if they still use that term, airline assistant, I guess. Hostess, thank you. Had what looked like a painted on suit. Okay. This girl looked like a classic Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, not, you know, withstanding however you feel about the Cowboys. The cheerleaders used to be a thing. And she's at the top of the escalator as people are heading into the airport. And she's just kind of fidgeting with her outfit and looking really cute or whatever. But someone nearby is filming it to get the reactions of all the women coming up the escalator, and the men too. But most of the women have sort of this sneer on their face, whereas a few of the guys, you know, kind of locked a gaze at it. And they were saying that this is the reason why you see so many ugly women in video games and movies and things like that, because there's sort of, I think I have long been a proponent to say that. Now, I'm happily married. Today is my anniversary, by the way.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Jealousy is kryptonite for women. It truly is. Gentlemen in the audience, I'm going to give you a dating tip or how to add a little bit of spice to the bedroom of your marriage. If another woman shows you any interest whatsoever, the waitress, the hostess, if you casually just name drop someone you talk to at work and it's a woman's name, your significant other, if you're straight like me, will get jealous, and it will increase her interest in securing your bond. I'll just leave it there. I'll leave it there. Okay.
That could backfire too, though, Chris. I don't know.
Well, don't go too far. Listen, you don't engage with another woman intentionally, but don't try to like brush it away. Like, oh, no. Please don't make my wife jealous by standing as close as you are to me, or casually saying, darling. Like if some woman is flirting with you, don't stop her from doing it to save your relationship. Just let her do it and then see what happens with your significant other afterwards. Trust me.
Yeah.
I hope my wife's not watching this, by the way.
Well, gamble that she is. Since it's your anniversary, let's hope that she has some other things to do.
I hope she is doing something
for later today. Or maybe she's hoping that you're not here because she's maybe hoping.
I think so. Yeah, as a gift. Yes. I'm cooking tonight.
I think it's too bad there are many things that men are not allowed to say anymore to women. And being an oldster and not fully trained. Not too long ago, I was at a meeting with a female executive amongst a bunch of other men, and it was clear that she took a lot of time to dress herself. I mean, it was just really clear she knew what she was doing, and I just blurted out, and it was completely inappropriate in our time and climate, but I just blurted it out because of my lizard brain, and I said, "Wow, I love how you've matched your shoes to your top." And I went, "Oh fuck!" She just beamed, and then she wanted to talk about that she actually did spend time doing that, and she was really happy. I noticed, but I felt weird initially saying it. So, but she was extremely appreciative of the fact, and we're not allowed to.
Women love that, man. At the end of the day.
Yeah, but that wasn't a salacious comment.
No, but they love the compliments. They love the chivalry, and even to be called darling or sweetheart or beautiful. Fuck that. I always say that.
Well, you can do that.
If
you're a good-looking Latino. I can't do that.
Interesting, yeah.
No, but you got to do it. It's like it's like if it's like a friend or a friend, or a girlfriend of Romy's that always they come over. We're just chatting and say, "Hey, how you doing, beautiful?" Something like that.
Yeah,
they love that stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and you're not doing it to get a reaction. You're just doing it because you're comfortable and you wanna say something nice.
Right, but and exactly, and you're familiar with that relationships and stuff. But even with strangers, like what Paul said, if a woman is just like got together that day, it's like you got to compliment her.
I agree.
Yeah,
and the shoes, women and complimenting their shoes—that's crazy because
that's
that up.
That's extra points right there.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Lessons
learned. All right. That's the free advice for today.
Yeah.
With that, we are going to start rounding out here.
Yes, indeed.
We got a couple of more super chats. Wildman Beyond suggests Bond girl name for Sydney, Cherry Bomber. Oh,
That's not bad.
Jason Webster says, if they announce Sydney Sweeney as a Bond girl, the list of prospective candidates to play James Bond would quadrupled in just hours.
Agree.
Not wrong.
Well, they're going for an unknown is what we keep hearing. I think the biggest mistake is not going after Henry, but
yeah. Packing Protoss wonders, so what do we think the mass YouTube fightings mean? This is not something that I've paid too close attention to, but I will say nothing good. That's for certain. Because they didn't have enough employees to answer the mail as it was. It's not going to get any better. So I have to do more research to be able to make an informed speculation, but I can tell you this right away, nothing good. Nothing good for us as creators and nothing good for you as viewers. Packing Protons also says, at 47, about giving up hope, I'll find some nice non-Trump hating lady at this point. Well, they are out there. They are out there.
Oh, yeah, they are. Never give up.
They do.
Stop working on yourself.
There's even some nice ones that still hate him, but they're
correct.
Nice.
I was going to say that.
Yes.
Packing is that there's a lot of nice ones that have common sense, don't like the president, but you can have an intelligent conversation with.
And also you have to remember,
politics, that's all.
And you just don't talk about politics. Yeah.
Exactly. Or it can be women that have been influenced to hate him, but they actually agree with everything that he says.
Right.
Probably that's what you're looking for. That's going to
there's that possibility.
That's going to open the field quite significantly right there. Yeah.
Go to church, Packing Protons. They're there.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But look out, some of those church ladies are freaks.
Yeah, that's true. But not in a bad way either.
I just want to point out that YouTube had its first $100 billion quarter, all on the backs of us making free shit for them.
Yeah, and on them exploiting us big time. Like, for instance,
that's my point.
We get these blip words of like 4 commercials packed into one. We don't see shit from that.
Yeah, so chances are they're firing.
They're not firing anyone. It's voluntary layoffs.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, same difference.
No.
They're still cutting down the
I think it's union members, right?
Yeah, they're not replacing people who are leaving. I don't know how much they're encouraging.
That's kind of like what I mean. It's like here's an offer. We invite you to leave, and to make sure that you do, here's a severance package. Now please accept it. Oh, you don't accepting it? Now it's mass fightings.
Yeah,
that's how that goes.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Somebody brought up
fire. They invite you to leave and to take the hint, so they don't have to.
Valentine Puppy. This would be great, but the problem is it's like fucking high school. This is why I don't go on a lot of shows anymore, because at this point, nobody would be able to get along for it to work out. That's the problem, and you've got so many personal problems between people that it'd be nice.
Yeah, we're all
if we could
scabs here.
unionize,
I mean,
but
come on.
I mean, yeah. But anyhow, Paul, what you got coming up? TV Guide video?
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's one of the things I'm writing. Takes a long time to write, so I'm in the middle of that.
I know how that is. Andre takes forever to write shit too.
Yeah, I was about to say, Tom, Constantine video.
I had 7 minutes done until poof, gone. Don't ask me what the fuck my pewter did, but this is what happens when you're tech-tarded. You end up deleting a whole folder or something, and shit's gone. So yeah, almost a good portion of it done, and start over.
Back up.
But yes, hopefully before the end of the year.
People
and we did get some progress on a few other things. So I know some people have been asking about the live archive. Well, not the live archive, but the retrospectives and stuff like that. We are working on some things in the background slowly. Sorry, guys. There's been a lot of personal shit going on in Andre and I's life that has gotten in the way, sadly. But speaking of, we do plan on having a member stream, hopefully at some point this week.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay, that's my hint. So check out Paul's channel and his other channel and his car videos and his dating app.
Calling News and Call Me Chado. I'll be happy.
Yes, he's starting a dating app too for lonely seniors. Yes.
Just for
called
myself.
50 Shades of Grey. Chris, what do you got coming up?
Well, I'm trying to download Paul's app right now, but I'm
a lot of gray-haired ladies on there.
Trying to make my wife jealous, I guess. No.
I've heard you and your wife had a anniversary today. Is that correct?
15 today.
Congratulations, sir. Yeah. By the way,
that's twice as long as my first marriage. So
wow.
Yeah. Best thing about that first marriage is my daughter, who just got married earlier this year.
Wow.
So we're all everything's good in my world.
It's all good.
I do want to mention we have a new contributor to Bleeding Fool. She goes by the moniker Witchbird. I can't tell you her name because we do have a few people with pseudonyms, but her first article goes live I guess, in about hour and a half. And she does a quick little review of Caught Stealing. I don't know if you guys saw the Darren Aronofsky film.
I did. I loved it.
But Andre did.
Yeah. And she was very surprised and thought it was a little unfortunate that it didn't catch fire because it was a very good movie with no message at all.
It's just a good movie.
Yeah, good thing. So check that out. It's at bleedingfool.com. Of course, the Sydney Sweeney news is there too. And we are on X at Bleeding Fool.
Yeah, it also has the most badass henchman of the Jewish persuasion this side of Paul Chateau.
I'm a nasty person.
That is brought up in this
that
article.
I agree with.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
That I really agree with as far as Chato being a nasty person.
Oh,
what you
come
got going
on! I love the guy.
Yeah,
Paulie,
I did see
what
a
you
great
got
suggestion in the chat. It wasn't a super chat, so I know we're not going to talk about it. But a little Mexican Iron Man, Chris Brawley, Midnight's Edge dating show. So I think
wow,
get
that'd be dope.
We'll work that out.
Work it out.
Maybe.
Speaking of dope, real quick before just keep talking. I'm just gonna.
Okay, so I'm gonna be live in minutes. We're gonna continue this conversation on my live stream. So please stop on by. Have some great news items to go over. Also, too, last week a bunch of you guys won DVDs from the Unexpecteds. We're already getting back positive feedback that they saw it this weekend. Someone saw it with their wife, loved it. They had a great time. That is fantastic. I relayed the information to Alejandro, and expect if you haven't gotten your DVD, it's in the mail, guys. But the Midnighters were awesome. And finally, congratulations to my boys. Viva los Dodgers. those Dyers. And there goes Chato.
Paul's gone.
Cabron. Can't take
Perfect.
it. And you know what? He still hasn't.
No, he totally fucking pieced out. He's gone.
Still hasn't paid me.
Perfect.
He
He
just
He's got
sent you
such
money.
comedic timing.
Canadian bucks.
Dude, that guy's got so much money.
He sent you Canadian bucks.
Yeah, but she sent me a Canadian transfer and I have to have a Canadian bank to accept it. I'm like, Paul, what the fuck, dude?
Dude, that's how Trudeau wants it. I mean, that's unreasonable of you to expect anything else. I mean, seriously.
But you know, Trump.
I'm going to get Mexican Iron Man to hunt down my $100 from Paul Chato.
I'm gonna give you a little piece of advice. Mikey doesn't give two shits about your $100.
Damn. What way to go right to my heart, Connors.
I'm sorry, he doesn't.
He has the MAGA women to attend. So
He's got a lot more important
He's got
shit.
MAGA women to bang.
More important
Yeah,
shit to worry
exactly.
about than your $100.
Priority.
Paulie.
priorities.
He'd be like,
love it.
motherfucker, get a better job. That's what he tells me.
Yeah, he says the same thing to me. Too.
Whenever I'm
But I'll be
telling,
live
you'll
in
find my
minutes.
money. He's like, get a better job. You'll find more money.
Get a real job.
Get off of YouTube.
Get off of YouTube.
Yeah, well, YouTube likes to screw us every which way till Sunday. So yeah.
Indeed. With that, though, I do believe everyone has gotten to plug their wares.
I think so. And don't forget Midnight's
so-
Edge After Dark as well. So yes.
Yeah.
And Jason Webster says, now showing The Witcher season 4 in Smell-O-Vision. It's
Oof.
brutal assault on the senses.
Fantastic.
Yes, with Timu Dolph Lundgren, no less. So with that, kids, take care of yourselves and each other. And as Andre always says, it's time for...
The koalas in the rain.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given. Koala, koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given.